Trey, you did a great job today. It was good working with you. I'm glad you could come. This is going to be very helpful to you. You do some things right that allow you to be pretty good at contact. I'm going to point that out. As you might remember, we have 5 phases. Phase 1 is the setup. Phase 2 is the trigger. Phase 3 is our halfway point, or on the document I gave you, it is also known as the C position. And I would use the document to follow along with the video. And then phase 4 and phase 5, we're really not going to cover. That's contact and the finish. Let's talk about the first 3. And going from left to right, let's look at phase 1 in the setup. And what I'd like you to do is to begin to get the backside toe, not only just with the toe pointed, as you can see, but you'd also like to get a kind of a toe-to-toe position. So I draw this line here where they're a little bit even. You can see your back foot, which is circled in phase 1, is kind of offset, and it is pointing back towards the catcher. It needs to be straight across towards me, as the yellow line would indicate they're coming out of the circle towards the actual plate, corner of the plate there in the diagram. So we want that. Also, I would suggest that, as you can see in the red in point number 2 in the setup, the circle indicates the very tip of your bat and the bat head, and the red line from your hands going up is where the bat should actually be positioned in the setup. So 2 little adjustments, and then finally 1/3 adjustment that I'd like to see is what we call the knee knob position. And Trey, what that is that's where the knob of the bat in the starting stance, which is what phase 1 is, it should be directly over the backside knee. But you can see that your hands are back away. Now I've put a light blue line there to show you kind of where the hands should be. You're almost wanting to start in a phase 2 position, and that's going to cause you a little challenge as we now move in to the middle illustration of phase 2, and this is where you're beginning to load your hands. Now I'm going to start from the ground up and go back, and with the yellow circle on your front foot, you're beginning to open up just slightly. That's not a real major problem, but I'm going to watch that in future sessions with you. Also, there is a line, yellow line there from your back foot. Again, that's denoting the position that we'd like to see the back foot. But if you would, go up to where your hands are, and you'll see that I've drawn a light blue line and an arrow. Now, this arrow is actually an indication of where the knob of the bat is in your hands, and it is a great distance away from where your foot is. Obviously, you can see the yellow line that I've created. That is to denote space. You're triggering your hands too far back, and the reason why is because you're actually in phase 1. You don't have that knee knob position that I mentioned in the light blue line, again, in phase 1. So as you get set up, that knee knob position that we referenced will help you to not have that trigger so far away from you. Also, the red circle is an indication of where we would like to see the bat head. Of course, you have that around your head. We call that bat wrap, and that could be a little bit of an issue. So in this particular video clip with phase 2, we can see how phase 1 kind of affects phase 2 a little bit, and we want to work towards getting ourselves set up correctly in phase 1 so that our hands won't get so far away. Now, what you really do a great job of in phase 3 is that you come into the strike zone, and this is why you make such great contact, because the barrel of the bat, which is very uncommon, believe me, this is very uncommon that the barrel of the bat is over your hands at this point, and that's very rare, and that's why you're able to make good contact consistently down below in the lower part of the strike zone. But in the yellow circle, I want to tell you that that's where we have no backside pivot. That is going to be a fundamental, crucial thing that we're going to have to work on, and I'll make sure that you get links to that to be able to know, again, what the drills are. The red circle shows that the front side foot is wanting to kind of open up. Again, not a big problem, but you did a great job with the bat head, a great job with your shoulder, a great job keeping your head in. If we could fix that backside pivot, you would be on your way with a couple minor adjustments in both phase 1 and 2. You're going to be on your way. You really look good.